Hey everybody, thank you so much for attending our team chat tonight. It is February 18th and I'm Natasha, founder of Stunner Squad, and we are so lucky tonight to have Jessica Laska joining us and being our guest speaker. She is going to be talking about some really awesome stuff about social media, and you guys are lucky to be able to see this, and hopefully there's enough memory on my computer to record the whole thing. Before we get started, I just have a few quick announcements. If you don't already know, maybe you're new to the team this month, the products that are on sale are 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, and the 3-Day Refresh. And size, right? Right. Everything. Also, I want to give just a quick shout out to Sheena and Jessica Laska for hitting Success Club 10 already this month, Crystal McCarthy and Jessica Prager for already hitting Success Club. Beth, I think you hit Success Club tonight also. You reached it. And I know there's a lot of other people out there who have already reached their goals, but they're not posted on the file. So make sure that you are updating that file, because this is what I go off of. So just make sure you do that before the end of the night or the end of the month, so that I can make sure to give you guys the recognition that you all so deserve. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass this all over to Jessica Laska now so that she can get started.
All right. So I created a little Google presentation thing that I'll upload also to the team page, but I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Hopefully this works. Okay. Can everybody see my desktop? Cool. Okay, cool. I'm going to just do it in this view as opposed to the whole presentation, because I want to flip back and forth between a couple posts that I have up already. So basically I kind of titled this Social Media, How to Be Real and Authentic in Your Posting. Something for me that I didn't even realize was a strength until my upline pointed it out to me, was being able to take those posts and make, whether it be a call to action post or, just one of your 5 posts a day, 3 to 5 posts a day that you should be doing, that are just to add value to people's lives, and writing them in a way that is authentic and does attract your target market. This is something that I kind of naturally do, but ever since really focusing and doing a lot of PD as well, I'm really focusing on that even more so, and I've noticed a big impact on my business as a result. So first thing, we're going to talk about consistency. So like I mentioned, you should be having at least 3 to 5 posts a day on your personal page. If you have a like page, this is actually something new to me that I'm trying to kind of build that up as well. So I'm trying to post 3 to 5 times a day on both. But especially at least on your personal page, you want to be posting 3 to 5 times a day. And you do not want that to all be Beachbody posts. So one of the biggest things that I see with newer coaches, and I did this myself too, so trust me, I'm not pointing blame at anybody, is you get so excited and, oh my gosh, my kid's coming, and then your kid arrives, and then, oh, I made my first shake, and hey, look at these cute containers. But that can get extremely overwhelming and annoying right away. And it also lends itself to kind of coming off too salesy, especially at the very beginning for you. So you don't want to do that. You maybe want to have about 20% of your posts be Beachbody related. So like if you're only doing 3, you could have one be, your sweaty selfie for the day. Or, if you're having 5, sometimes I'll have like 2 different posts, something relating to workouts and something relating to Shaco that day, or a meal, for example, that day that I've done. Recently, I've actually kind of cut back a little bit on I was posting like a sweaty selfie every day, and I was posting the Shakeology pictures every day, and I noticed less people interacting. So I've kind of been testing that out. I know a lot of the uplines and people in the team have been trying for that whole 365er, and I have been taking photos that I'm kind of just going to sneak in here and there. But I noticed when I was posting them every day, and especially like hashtagging, I think people were avoiding them as opposed to actually like looking and enjoying the post that I was giving. So part of what has helped me to go ahead and figure out what to post every day and being consistent has been coming up with kind of a list for what I can do to add value to my lifers. I'm a huge Chilean person. So my lifers who's your target market. And so for me, I made a list of things that interest me and that I know would add value or interest other people. So that's kind of like my little homework assignment would be to just kind of make a list of 5 to 10 hobbies or other things that you enjoy or things that represent you, because your brand is you. It's not Beachbody. It's you. So for me, I have my list over here on the right. My kids, I'm a little obsessed. Crock pot recipes. I'm super lazy and love being able to just pop something in before going to work and it's done. Chocolate. I'm a total Reese's fiend, and fashion. And then like toddler, teenager stuff. My kid is driving me nuts. New mom issues. And then like funny memes or those So Me cards. Anytime I find them, and I'll kind of talk about that a little later, but like saving those and then coming back to them if I run out of ideas. Something I didn't add in here, but I do want to just make a note, is that for some people, it helps to use like Evernote or one of those, like Google Drive, one of those programs to plan out your posts. I've tried it and I end up overthinking it. So for me, I've literally just started, if I see something I like, I hit that little save post button on Facebook so I can go back to it and recreate it for myself. Or if I come across like a So Me card or some funny GIF or something, I'll just save it to my phone. And then I kind of just have a whole album that I can pull from. And so that's kind of how I do it. I kind of just go at it at a whim. But if you're somebody who does work better with planning, that's also an option. So, actually go back really quick. No, I was right. Okay. So what not to do? Let's start with that, and then we can go into what you should do. So avoid using stock images. I know Beachbody gives us a whole bunch of promotional, like in your business section, there's all those promo photos and videos and things like that. I use them right away, and I want to say probably after like my first 3 weeks, I don't think I've used one since. My upline gently pointed out like, hey, I've noticed and I've had feedback from my upline that this is something that, generally people respond better if they see you, because we want our friends and people that we're friends with on Facebook are going to be looking and more interested in seeing you and it being real as opposed to seeing Autumn's chiseled abs and wanting to punch her in the face. So yeah. So avoid using those, make it real, make it you. If it's you covered in sweat after doing a workout, you may not think it's pretty, but that might actually appeal to somebody and say, okay, well, she just worked her butt off and I know she has 2 kids, or I know she's working full time, whatever it might be, that would be something that maybe allows them to connect to you. Don't use the same photos over and over again. So you want to constantly be taking new photos. My husband laughs at me. He's in the other room right now, but he laughs at me all the time because if I have something or I'm wearing something cute, I'll be like, selfie time. And he cracks up, but I'm making money by taking selfies. So take them, be vain, do that. And make sure you have like a bunch of different photos, especially if you're doing your progress photos. Don't keep it with the same one that you're going back to. The before fit photo is always fine, but make sure that you're keeping those, transformations fresh and new. Watch the amount of text in your images. So I actually kind of have an example that unintentionally in this presentation that I'll show you, but especially if you're ever going to create a like page and try to boost things, text in images can be overwhelming and people end up scrolling right past it because it's just too confusing. They don't want to see it. Pretty pictures with a little text definitely gets more interaction. And then avoiding salesy wording. So your goal is not to sell, it's to help people. So you don't want to come off overly salesy. I have known people and have had friends who sold other products, and I ended up hiding them from my newsfeed, and they were like the butt of inside jokes with my friends because we just could not stand their posts. It was just constant buy this. They were spamming groups, and that's been helpful to me, is being like, okay, I don't want to do that. So kind of thinking back, like, okay, would this have been something I would have hidden and question that before posting it. And then lastly, just don't be negative in your post. I know, we all want to vent from time to time, and that's fine. Like, oh my gosh, my 3-nager did this and now it's bedtime. That's fine. But, something along the lines of really, it could be a little political, or it might kind of stir up controversy. You want to generally avoid that, because you want your space to be a positive and encouraging space, so that people view you as being positive and encouraging and motivating. So on that right side, I kind of had just a couple examples. So like, these are examples of what not to do. So like, hey guys, 21 Day Fix is on sale for only $140. Who wants in? And that was one of like my first posts, basically. But then I kept doing those and kept mentioning prices and kept, so you don't want to do that. Entering your link in your post, you want to start your conversation. So if you give a link to where to buy, that's promoting selling versus, hey, talk to me. Let's make sure this is the right program for you. I really want to invest in you and find out your goals. So you want your post to be kind of something that has a call to action, but not a go to this link, more of a let's chat. And we can find the right program or make sure this is the right fit for you. And then just the bottom one was kind of a negative example. So, oh my gosh, I can't stand people who blah, 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 because you are alienating a group of people. You never know who might be on your friends list and might see that and think, okay, I don't want to talk to this person anymore because they just totally offended me. So that's my little what not to do. Now we get to the fun stuff. So how to create a good post. Think of who your target audience is, or your lifers. So consider creating an avatar, and I'm going to be completely honest, I have not officially created an avatar. Don't kill me, Natasha. But but I did.
It's hard.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. I did take that, and basically I'm my avatar. So when I'm writing my post, I'm thinking of myself, and I'm thinking of that mom who, because that's my market, that mom maybe of 1 or 2 kids, that person who, desperately wants to be home with her kids. If it's a coaching post, like, desperately wants to be home, desperately wants to be able to make enough money to be home and be there for, bus pickup down the line. Or that mom who never has, really felt great about herself. Those are the kind of things I'm thinking of when I'm writing my posts. So what are their likes? What are their fears? What might what might they be clinging to when they see your post? How could that connect? How would they be able to connect to that? So before reading or before posting, read through what you wrote. And sometimes I'll read it to my husband because he's a complete, unbiased opinion, or, I'll send it to my upline or one of, another friend, and just kind of, hey, what do you think about this? Just to get other opinions, especially if it's a bigger post, because sometimes, you kind of get like word vomit and it just keeps going and going and going, and you want to make sure they're not too long either. So that's kind of my advice for how to create that good post, is to really not be worried so much about, I want to drive everybody to buy this. Think of it more of who is my person I'm writing to, and what did they need to hear to be motivated? So like your target market, like for me, new moms or moms of toddlers, or, working moms who really want to be home. There's other ones that could be, full-time workers. Maybe they don't have kids, but you're just busy all the time. And then you go out to the bars with friends for your social life, and, how to balance that. Or those stay-at-home moms who are looking for something more, who are bored and don't want, just feel like they're just mom and don't want to just be mom. So whatever your market is, figure that out, and then find some way to kind of, in your head, even if you don't go through and have that picture of that person that you look at, or a name for her yet, who is she, and how can you reach out and have her want to come to you? So this kind of imaginary person. So going through, I have a couple example posts, and then I was going to pull up some that I have up here. The other big thing, and I read Jab, Jab, Right Hook and loved it. And the biggest thing I got from that is that you want to be relevant. So I'm trying to experiment with hashtags. So if you look down here, you know, New Year's resolution, goal crusher. This was my New Year's Day one, and I had seen this picture and cracked up. And it was a few days before New Year's, and I saved it to my phone, and that inspired my post. And then I went in this middle section, you know, I actually did research. I didn't cite the research because I kind of, you know, tweaked it to fit what I wanted, but like the 60% of my friends, like that was something I found that, you know, 60% of people are, you know, enthusiastic about their goals. And then there was another fact that I found somewhere that was saying, you know, within like the first 4 weeks, only 20% will still be going or something like that. And so this was kind of my call to action post that I did then. And it was nice because I had people that shared it just because of the funny picture. So having that picture can help draw in the attention. Sometimes it's the wording of the post and then the hashtags, all of that kind of combines to make it something that's bigger than just, hey, it's January 1st, come sign up to lose weight with me. So that's one example. This is the one I was talking about. I'm going to open this up on a different one. This kind of gives you an idea of why text can be overwhelming. So if this were a picture that I had actually posted, I would scroll right past it. The actual post, though, is right here. So it was a long one, and I did, you know, use the little emoji and everything. But this was one that I was sitting there, and I honestly, this whole part here about how I'm looking through the photos, that was totally true. I was looking through my photos, you know, thinking, oh my gosh, my baby's turning 4. And I saw this one on the left, and that was about 3 months before I got pregnant with my daughter. I was almost at my goal weight, and looking at the difference, I'm only maybe a couple pounds lighter on the right. But seeing that picture, even my husband was like, wow, that is a huge difference. And that kind of just inspired me to write this post. And then it kind of just flowed out because I was thinking of, okay, I'm talking to her. I'm talking to that woman on the left, the one in the white shirt, and kind of going through, you know, this is how I feel now. And my son, I kind of talked about it down here. He literally did. He likes to jump in for about 20 seconds with me on workouts and then tell me it's too hard. And he had that day done that and then asked me, you know, why do you do these hard workouts? And I told him, I was like, because you want to challenge yourself and I want to be stronger. And he did. He looked at me and he just gave me this huge smile. So I threw that all in there together, and it got, within the first, I got over close to like 60 different likes, and a few comments, but I would say almost 40 of those likes came within the first like half hour, which never happens for me. So clearly, you know, it was reaching that market. I posted it. I don't know if it'll show me the time. I don't know. I don't want to click anything and screw it up, but it actually wasn't during my normal time when I would post. So it was just, it shows that like that picture caught their eye. It was a fairly simple picture, but you know, it was something that really does show a transformation. And then the text, I mean, enough people basically read through it, most likely, to really like that, because I did have conversations with people outside of just the comments below. So I'm gonna hop back. Where did I put it? Here we go. So there's that one. And then to talk about non-beach body posts, this was one that I did yesterday. And again, you're thinking of you. So what can you add to your lifers? What can add value to their life? So for me, you know, the target for this post was women or moms or Target addicts. And actually over the past week or so, I have noticed a lot of those SoMe cards coming up with the go into Target for just milk, come out $200 poorer, and I forgot the milk, or whatever that one is. And I've seen it from like 6 or 7 different people. So I went in and I legitimately did go into the store yesterday, had to get infant water and diapers and a can of tomato sauce. And I came out with just those things. And so I took my picture, and, you know, I pulled over to a better spot in the parking lot to get better lighting. And I took my picture, and then I wrote this little post, and I got a whole bunch of likes and a whole bunch of comments. Like, people who never comment on my things were commenting. So I was attracting not just my typical market either. I had lots of, you know, single women posting and commenting. I had, you know, even family who never comments on anything of mine commented on it. So it's something that just appeals to other people and helps to get more of that interaction, which also, raises your affinity, which, in case you don't know what that is, short version, Facebook decides if you're cool or not and whether or not they're going to post all your stuff based on how many likes you're getting and how many interactions you're getting with your posts. So the more likes you're getting on your post, the more often Facebook is going to show your posts to more people. Again, jab, jab, right hook, read it. So let's see. I have like one last little slide, but I'm going to show you just my examples now. So this is one I just posted tonight. It hasn't gotten a lot yet. I'm hoping it will. But this was just a kind of short little, talking about who we are in our group that we just finished. And the wording here is more what I think is important. I do have a lot of text in here, and I chose to do that because of the type of text that I have. It's sharing those goals. And these are like real statements from our most recent group. So I do know that kind of goes against what I said about lots of text, but the way it's formatted, it's not overly busy or confusing to look at. And I purposely chose certain colors to make sure it was easy to see. And then I posted something very similar to this on it was like a garage sale post that was, if you have a business, you can post here. And I ended up having somebody reach out to me within like 20 minutes asking for information. So the wording in here about who we are, that's the stuff that was reaching that market. So that's kind of why I wanted to pull that one up. If you want to see that, it's my most recent post on my page. And then this was earlier today. This is kind of a health related one, but not at all Beachbody related. And this one had a decent amount of interaction too. So, just that water call and asking people like, how much water are you drinking? Showing that, this first part kind of gives them information and shows them like, hey, I'm knowledgeable. I can help you reach these goals that might not be weight loss or inches related. And I had lots of people kind of checking in throughout the day, and lots of comments back and forth, and actually started a conversation with somebody about possibly doing Shakeology as a result from it. So that was one other one. And then the last one was just this one. And this was another kind of longer post, but really it was not a call to action. And that's why I pulled this up. Wasn't a call to action. It was hey, I just got this new sweater. I took a picture. I'm like, hey, that looks cool. And I went in and I just talked about it. It was right before the holidays, mentioning, being open and raw and honest with people and just saying, hey, I don't have a perfect stomach. I've had 2 kids. I shouldn't have to have a perfect stomach. And, I'm not ideal right now, but I'm amazing. I've done this. And that positive attitude. And, really just pointing out those positives and that kind of aura with that this post exudes, that attracted a lot of people. And I got, a little over 40 likes and some comments, and people struck up conversations with me all right before the holidays too. So that kind of helped build into my January sales and everything, and reaching out and meeting those new people as well. So those are just a few of my example posts I wanted to share. And then just going into here. So the last few little extra tips that I have are, you want to recreate and not just share. So this goes for if you find, now some things you can't recreate. So like if you find an article or something like that, you're obviously not going to go recreate the whole article. But rather than, like I've found like HuffPost, rather than share directly from their link, go to the website and then share there, because that actually affects your affinity, and that will be more authentic from your post. Plus, it doesn't show that you're sharing someone else's post. It's you're sharing information. But the reason I primarily say this is I've seen lots of people posting like photos that they see from other health pages, or sometimes even other coaches that they might not know as a coach, their page. And you don't want to do that, because people might click on that and then go with that person or look into that person more and then not invest the time in you. So what I've done is, save a photo to your save a photo to your camera roll, and then repost it on your own. I've done that plenty of times. You don't have to even tweak the photo, or sometimes add funny text or stickers using Rona is one of the apps. That one costs, I think, like $2. And then there's, like extensions you can buy for it. Photify is completely free, and you can buy little things here or there, but I haven't had to. I actually did one the other day that was the zebra and the giraffe, and hey, is it Friday yet? No, there's a darn camel in the way. And I had seen that post, LOL'd like legit out loud, and saved it so that I could recreate it. And then I added my little tag at the bottom for my like page. So then that way when it was shared, people were sharing the one that said Happy Health Mom on it instead of whoever else had shared it that I saw it on Instagram. Be relevant. I already talked about that a little bit with trending hashtags. I'll have to look it up and I can post it, but there's a website that actually, if you plug in a hashtag, it'll tell you all the hashtags that are similar that are trending. I can't remember what it was called, but I will find it and I'll kind of comment under this video. And Jab, Jab, Right Hook. If you have not read it, read it. If you're going to Summit, he's the keynote speaker. So I'm actually in his other book right now, Crush It. I'm reading that one. But read it. It's an easy read and it's got tons of examples, which is what was great. And then most of all, just be you. That you're not going to be me. You're not going to be Natasha. You're not going to be Rachel or Raina or Leslie or any of the other coaches you might follow. You can't be them. That's fake, and that's not going to be attracting your market, because your market's there. They're friends with you because they like you, and so that's going to be what gets you success. And that's it.
Awesome. I just have a few things, like I was taking notes that I just wanted to comment on or kind of add to. One thing is if you guys do plan your posts, I think that's okay, because I know a lot of you are full-time workers and you have to do that in order to make sure you're maintaining. But I also think that it's really important, if you're planning, to make sure that you're still doing random posts, because what you really want is your Facebook to kind of be like a reality television version of yourself over Facebook, because that's what people want. Just like Jessica has been saying, like, you want people to connect with you. Like, you don't work for Beachbody, you work for yourself. So they're not buying from Beachbody, they're buying into you and your brand and who you are. So, doing all of your posts, if you are planning them ahead of time and scheduling them, it works, especially if you are working. But make sure that every chance you get, like, you are doing like the selfie or whatever, even if it's, a pre-taken selfie. If something just happened, you have the selfie done and you can just write about it, like share what story is going on right now or whatever. So that, at the end of the night, when you have the time to sit down, you're not like, oh, it was such a great day, but maybe you forgot you had scheduled something about, like, it was a rough day, or vice versa type of thing. So, that was one thing. What Jess had mentioned also about the text. If you are someone who has a like page, and if you plan to ever, or if you already are, running ads on that, your ad will not be approved if you have more than 20% text in it. So there is a number. It has to be less than 20%. And just in general, the more text you have on a photo, like she was talking about with affinity and what Facebook chooses to or not to show, the more text that's on a photo, the less likely it is to be shown. But with that being said, it doesn't make it impossible, because if a ton of people go in and like on it, then they go, oh, I guess people do think this is relevant. So that was just one thing I wanted to let you know. Like, there's an actual number, and if you do run ads, it won't get through most of the time. I mean, sometimes you can sneak it through. I don't really know how that always works. As far as the avatar, if you haven't done your avatar training yet, I highly recommend it. But it's hard. Like, it was one of the hardest things that I have done as far as Beachbody goes, because it really made me sit down and, like, figure out who I am. Because, like Jess had said again, my avatar is very much me. But it's not exactly me, because I'm kind of a pain in the ass. So there are certain things about me I don't want to work with, and I know that. And I will clash heads with myself. So there are tweaks with my avatar. But essentially, whether you have done it or not, every time you go to post, if you have like a best friend that you have in mind who you think would just be amazing at being a Beachbody coach, or she talks to you all the time or whatever, just pretend you're talking to her every single time you post. Pretend she's on the couch next to you and you know that this is going wrong or this is going right or this is the kind of motivation that she needs to hear. And every time you sit down, like for a while, it was the weirdest thing. Like I sat down and I was writing to Courtney and then I delete Courtney, like, hey, Courtney, just wanted to say, like, I literally had to like pretend I was like messaging her and then delete all the weird stuff so that nobody knew how crazy I was. And then just post. And honestly, it changed my business. And especially I would say my like page. Like I've really dove into my like page and not just doing like Joe Schmo, whatever, just posting random stuff and just ripping off that like blind that I was using and like just being me. Like who cares? Like I'm just going to 100% authentically be me. And in the last probably 2 months, like my affinity has gone up like 500% or something. Like I was the girl who would be like, maybe on a good day, I would get like a total of 20 likes total, like on everything. I might get like 300 people and reach. On a really good day, I might reach like 1,000 total. And today, like it's not rare for me to do one post. Like last night, the last post I did, I woke up this morning and it had 70 likes on it or something, like one post. Like when that happens, I still am like, how? Why? Like, what is it exactly that you guys liked about this? But I would talk to Courtney and she apparently loved it. Like she didn't just like it. She was like, girl, you know me so well, right? So when it comes to like posting, if you haven't done the avatar yet, I do recommend it because I really think besides helping your business, it's going to help you see kind of what your quirks are. Because for me, it helped me realize what it was that was holding me back. Like I knew I had all these issues or whatever you want to call them, like my own problems and things that were holding me back. But I don't think I realized how much it was affecting my business. Like I knew that they were quirks or whatever, or things in my past that I had dealt with. And I just thought I got over them, or like, I know they're there. It is what it is. Like, let's keep going. Like, you can't sit here and cry about it forever. Right. But when it came to my business, I went, oh my God, like I'm totally not doing stuff. I like get to a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna not like, nah, I'll just go this way. I'll see if I can go around it. So things are taking me or have been taking me way longer because I've been afraid or I haven't wanted to share that full story, or I've been like, they'll never notice my emotional eating. Let's just take the long road around. Everybody knows about it. And like now I know about my PCOS and like I've known about that for years, but like I never talked about it. It's just one of those things, you know, like you think everybody is going to judge you for it. So just be you. Just talk to whoever your best friend is that you think is your dream coach. Talk to her. And then the last thing, like Jessica had said also, long posts are totally okay. Just make sure that when you do them, they're real, they're raw, they're honest, and it's not every day. Like, I mean, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Like when you feel it inside, like you need to get it out, it's real. That's honest. Like that's raw. Do it. Get it out. Share it. Like people need to hear it, but people don't want to read it every day. And so that's when you start to annoy people. So be you. Just like honestly, you're going to hear it over and over and over 1,000 times from everybody you talk to. Any successful coach will tell you, just be you. And it took me like over 2 years to realize it, even though I knew it and I told everybody and I thought I was being me. I wasn't. Like I was really trying to be me, but then I'd be like, that's too scary. Let's pull back. I'm not going to share all that, you know? And so that's where personal development comes in, you guys. Just read it and figure out who you are and share it, because the things that you're most scared of sharing are the things that other people need to hear to know they're not alone and that you're there to understand and help them. So, does anybody have any questions for Jessica? No? Okay, well then cheers everybody. Happy wine drinking international whatever day. Thank you so much though, Jess. She's going to go ahead and plop these onto our team page in the file so that you guys can look over this and read it again. You were awesome. This was a really great call. I know that everybody on it got a ton from it, and everybody that wasn't on it will get a ton because I recorded it, guys. We made it through. So thank you all for hopping on. Have a great Thursday, and we will chat soon.
Great job, Jess.
Thanks.
Bye.